Hi, Joel W. Brister and our continuing series, Where Did America Go? We're talking about the press and media, and we were talking about how they started um, consolidating the press. Wealthy people started buying up little newspapers, syndicating, and that seemed kind of good at first. And you'd have reporters, you could afford to send them around the world and all that. But that also gave them control over the truth. And the truth started being hard to find. There was no accountability. You didn't live in a town. News stories were wired in, and little guys would just print them. They had no way to know if it was true or not. One good example is the Spanish American War. Teddy Roosevelt, the Rough Riders. The Spanish blew up our ship, the Maine. No, they didn't. The Hearst newspaper pumped that story and got everybody in a fever pitch to go to war. And that's how we wound up over there. We know now that a boiler blew up. But we went to war, didn't we? And we have all of these things. History is written by those that win, not by those that lose. So more and more the news people came together. The newspapers were consolidated. There were fewer and fewer independent papers. And then we got into cable TV. We used to have three networks in this country: ABC, NBC, CBS. And there's evidence now that even they were being paid off by government agencies. They wanted to put out what they called mockingbird press, where everybody would say the same thing. So that came in. Then we came into cable news, and cable news networks grew, and they were controlled to a great extent. And they wound up being all over the world. One particular one I'm thinking about would be in airports when I traveled overseas. And that was a way to control things. So that's how we've come to where we are today. How do you know the truth? Anytime somebody is trying to censor news, I don't care if somebody's lying or not, that is not your job and not your responsibility or your right. The Second Amendment is not the most valuable amendment. And I'm a country boy and I like firearms. The most valuable amendment was the first one, the freedom of speech. Remember the Bible? Men shun the light, lest their evil deeds should be reproved. You ever throw a light on when cockroaches are out at night? I lived in an apartment one time that way. Throw the light on, they run everywhere. They don't like light. And so we have lost the light in this country, but it's kind of coming back. Independent media, internet sites, and they're trying to shut them down. It's pretty easy to know who's doing wrong. It's the people that want to stop the light. I'm Gerald W. Brister, and that's your threefold cord for evil.